Hello friends, my name is Masu. Today we shall discuss about topic monitor risk process. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management or you are planning to give exam or PMP in near future. So let's start. First of all, I will request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. And monitor risk is basically a process defined in PMBOK Guide, Project Management Body of Knowledge, which is a book issued by PMI. And this is a very good book which has all the standards and best practices for project management. And this is a process defined under the knowledge area of risk management. Now, what is actually a risk? Risk is the uncertain condition of a project for which you are not sure whether it will happen or not happen in a project. If it happen, it has a positive or negative impact on the project. Positive impact we will try to enhance, and negative impact we will try to mitigate actually. Now, monitor risk means that whatever the risk you have identified in the project, it should be properly monitored, it should be properly controlled. Monitoring means that review that what are the risks and how you are responding to them if that particular risk occur in a project. So first is the purpose of monitor risk. Friend, why we are monitoring the risk? Because first of all, the main purpose is the continuous monitoring. Monitoring means uh, uh, the track the identified risk throughout the project, whether the assessment, whether the response which you have decided, which you have agreed for the response for the risk is or properly tracking or not, properly handling or not. Then next is the assessment, means that assessing the effectiveness of the risk response that have been implemented, whether it fulfilling the requirement or not, whether any changes are required or not. Then it also includes identification of new risk that may arise during the project execution. Means that, for example, you have identified 10 risks in a project. You are monitoring those risks, like you are sitting in a conference room and monitoring those risks, and during the identification of the previous risk you have identified that two more risks will occur if you are not handling, if you are not properly managing the risk. Next is the inputs. Friend, inputs means that because it's a process, as a being a the logic of the book of PMBOK, it defines inputs, tools and technique, and then output of that process. So first we are discussing inputs. So first input is the project management plan. Project management plan basically outlines that how risk will be identified, assessed and managed during the execution of a project. Project management plan is a very important document in a project, and it contains all the planning related to scoping, risk management, communication management. So related to risk, that how will you identify, assess and manage the risk. Then a risk register is another input, means that it is a comprehensive list of identified risk characteristics and the response plan for each risk. Then work performance data means that information related to project performance, progress, deliverables, that how project is progressing, what is the actual performance of actual work which has been actually completed. If there is any changes occur to the project scope, schedule and other aspects may impact existing risk, so it may arise here as well. So if there is any changes, so obviously it will be another input for the monitor risk process. The tools and techniques for which we use for monitoring risk is the data analysis. Means that analyzing the data related to risk, performance and project progress. Then risk audit means the assessing the effectiveness of the risk management process. Normally you can think of risk audit means, like for example, any within the organization, few any particular division sit together with you and identified and monitor the risk, whether it's happening or not, and also any third party can also do the audit of the risk as well. Variance and trend analysis means that the try to compare the planned work with the actual work. That may, if there is a, for example, examining the project performance data over time to identify patterns or trends that may indicate changing risk conditions. If there are changing, like for example, if there are any major variances, so obviously it will impact, it will indicate a major risk as well. Technical performance measurement means evaluating the technical performance to determine if there are any indicators of emerging risk. You may discuss with any consultant, any technical expert about the performance measurement, whether it is satisfactory or not. If it's not satisfactory, you may have to take decisions accordingly. Then output means, friend, the output of monetary risk is the work performance information, means the performance actually, like if there are any changes in the risk landscape, whether you are handling properly risk or not. Basically this is the information. Then change request means that if there are any changes required in the in the scope, in the risk, so you may have to handle it, you may have to properly approve it. Project management plan could be updated as a output of monetary risk, means that if there are any changes required in the monitoring results in the project management plan, so it could be output of monetary risk. Project documents could be updated here as well, for example risk register, lesson learned, or maybe in the scope document as well, if there are any updation is required. The key activities involved in the monetary risk process: first one is the risk review meeting, in which all the major stakeholders sit together and review the impact and probability of the risk on the on the project, and also discuss the effectiveness of the risk responses. A risk audit means that conducting audits to ensure that the risk management process is being followed effectively. Status reporting means that communicating the status of risk and risk management activities to stakeholders. Triggering risk response plans means implementing predefined responses if certain trigger conditions are met. Uh, then next is the challenges and consideration. Friend, basically risks are basically having dynamic nature of risk that may evolve with the passage of time, and we may have to adopt different strategies. Communication is very important, that you have to communicate the current status of risk to the major stakeholders. The risk may integrate with other processes like control scope, the control schedule, and control cost as well. Then benefits of effective monitoring includes, like it's a proactive management, like you are basically proactively managing and mitigating the risk. It will involve improve your decision making. It will basically optimize the resource allocation, means that resources can be reallocated based on the current risk profile to address emerging challenges. So, friend, monitor risk process is a continuous and iterative process that ensure project teams stay vigilant, adapt to changing conditions, and respond effectively to both anticipated and unforeseen risks. Regular monitoring allows for the implementation of appropriate risk responses and adjustments to the project plan, contributing to the overall success of the project. So, friend, thank you. Thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with the friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching.